What up, what up, what up? This is your boy Agree to Disagree, and I'm coming at you again with another video review. As always, I got some good stuff coming your way, so let's get to it.
Hey, my name is Danny, and I married myself on December the 10th, 2022.
Will you commit to never giving up until your dying day? Do you promise to give yourself grace? Do you commit to praying and finding the answers within yourself? Do you promise to value yourself?
Yes, I do. I overcame a lot of trauma, and it inspired me to marry myself. I realized I wasn't living for myself, and this wedding was my chance to start over. I spent $4,000 on my wedding. I had 9 bridesmaids.
I'm not the only one getting married today. You are too. So there is a bag in your chair with a ring in it.
At my wedding, I asked everyone else to marry themselves too.
I now pronounce you married to yourself.
Actually, no, thank you. I am not going to marry myself because I'm going to get married to another person the way marriage is intended.
People not treat me differently. They're thinking like, ooh, she can afford her wedding on her own. She's confident. She loves herself. That's right.
I say this to you, Dan.
Actually, I'm pretty sure no one is thinking that. They're probably thinking why you spent $4,000 on a fake wedding. That's what they're thinking.
And to all of your guests, let no one separate you from the love of yourself.
There is no such thing as overdoing celebrating yourself. Some people buy themselves a bag. Some people buy themselves a nice cruise. Me? I gave myself a wedding.
It's about the power invested in me as your friend. I now pronounce you a married woman. You may now kiss yourself.
Oh no. She did not just kiss the mirror.
Okay.
I'm just curious, does she have to carry the mirror with her for this to work? Like, does she take it with her on dates, take it with her to the movies? I can just imagine her on her honeymoon checking into the hotel. So I hear you're on your honeymoon. Congratulations. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. So when will your spouse be checking in? Oh, no, it's just me. See, I married myself. Oh. Oh, well, good for you. Congratulations. Thank you. This bitch is crazy.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Phil.
This was a big thing.
It was a serious
How much
thing.
did you spend on it?
Only the price of 4 Beyonce tickets, $4,000.
Did you have as much fun as a Beyonce concert?
I haven't been yet. Hopefully I'm on the list. But yes, I have a lot of fun.
Okay. So why do this? Because the fact that you love yourself, 100% would support. I mean, the fact that you would make that declaration to yourself, that you would make that declaration to others, that you would live that way, that you would embrace self-love, taking care of yourself, making yourself a priority. Everything that this seems to commemorate for you, I think is great. And I think it's wonderful that you would treat yourself that way. But why do you need this to commemorate that?
I grew up going to weddings my whole life, and I was taught that they were about love, joy, commitment, so I wanted to show that and share that with my family and my friends.
Yes, marriage is about love, joy, and commitment, but to another person, not to yourself. And I think this is just an example of how a lot of women care more about the wedding than actually getting married.
Did you doubt that in yourself?
Before, I experienced a lot of traumatic things growing up and in my younger days, and so I didn't always have self-love. I didn't always give myself everything that I needed, and I went on this long therapeutic journey. I stopped drinking, stopped having sex, and I said, now it's time. I went to therapy. It's time
You
to
need to
marry
go
myself.
back.
I have something that I've never had before, and my cup is full.
Okay. So when you married yourself, you loved yourself
Hmm.
already.
Well, yes.
Was this just to declare it to the world?
It was to share it. At my wedding, I told my family and friends all the
What they
things.
think about it?
They thought, well, at first, my mama thought it was crazy.
Okay.
My dad walked away from me and said, "Come on, Les, that's my mom's name. Like, don't listen to her. She's crazy." And then afterwards, they thought it was cool. They experienced it and they understood. I think my dad had to go through the entire process to understand.
Yeah, because it is atypical. It's not a common thing.
Yeah,
It's getting more common, but
but weird
and
is cool.
yeah,
Here's the thing, like Dr. Phil said, being able to love yourself is an amazing, great thing. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, it is not as easy as it sounds, especially when you have society telling you that you're not worth love. And when society is showing you something different, it is hard to convince yourself otherwise. So I do commend her for that. But here's where I draw the line, because this wedding is complete bullshit. Because a wedding is a ceremony of marriage, and you cannot marry yourself. It's physically impossible. By definition, a marriage is a union between two people. So you spent $4,000 on a fake wedding. Maybe you still have the ceremony, but call it something else. Call it a self-love ceremony. But to call it a wedding, to me, just makes a mockery of marriage. And that is something that we in America already don't take serious enough. Honestly, I think the whole thing was a waste of time and money, because all she did was put a band-aid on a stab wound. Because while, yes, she did find the ability to truly love herself, what has truly changed for her since this ceremony? The answer is nothing. Dr. Phil already said it. She had already found self-love before the ceremony. So to me, this is all just a self-congratulatory, patting yourself on the back kind of thing to make yourself feel better. She will still be lacking what she is truly looking for, because after this wonderful ceremony and everyone goes home, she will go home alone. She still does not have someone to hold her at night. She still does not have someone who will stick by her through thick or thin, through better or worse, and through sickness and in health. Listen, I hate to rain on you guys' parade, but this is the biggest coping mechanism I have ever seen in my life. And all her friends should feel ashamed of themselves, because instead of giving her some real advice that will help her in the future to ensure that she does not die alone, all they did was co-sign this bullshit and pander to her. Oh, girl, you're fine the way you are. You're a knockout. Any man would be lucky to have you. And listen, I don't know the woman personally, but any woman who's willing to marry themselves is a little out there. So I don't know how lucky a man would be to be with this woman, but that could be a reason why she's having a hard time finding a man to marry. And I'm gonna bring her back on the screen real quick. And as you can see, she's a little on the heavy side. So maybe she can lose a few pounds that can help increase her dating pool. And if I was her friends, I would try to give her some real advice. Give her advice on how to be softer, more agreeable, and overall more feminine. You know, things that will actually help her attract a man, so that way she doesn't have to marry herself. Because at the end of the day, if she had a choice between marrying herself and marrying a good man, 100% she would pick a good man. And I know a lot of you guys are going to say, she loves herself and that's all that matters. No, it's not all that matters. It does matter, but it's not all that matters. Loving yourself means knowing that you are worthy of love despite what anybody says, despite what anyone says. But to do that, it takes a certain level of delusion. Because if everyone I meet says I'm an asshole, but in my mind, I'm going around thinking that I'm a nice guy, chances are I'm not a nice guy. But if I have one person who means something to me, who believes that I am a great person, that I am that nice of a guy, then that is confirmation bias that I am not crazy. And what I believe is real because the person next to me believes what I believe and they are real. Listen, I've said this once and I'll say it again. Life is all about the relationships you make in your life. And yes, she has friends, but that fails in comparison to having a lifelong partner. Someone who's there when you wake up, there when you go to sleep, someone that you can depend on no matter what, someone who will put you first before anyone else. You can have your fake wedding or marriage or whatever you want to call it, but it doesn't beat the real thing. And I always hear women say, it's better to be alone than be in a bad relationship. That's true. That's 100% true. You got me on that one. But being alone is not better than being in a good relationship. And all right, that's all I got for this one. Let me know what you thought of the video. What points did you agree with? What points did you disagree with? Leave your comments below and let me know what you thought. And if you got anything out of this video, hit that like button. This is Agree to Disagree. I'm out.